The meta in Mario Kart has gotten a bit stale as of lately. It's no secret that the Teddy Buggy cart has reigned supreme in online lobbies. And for good reason, it's the best cart in the game. So it would be easy to say that the best cart setup for any character is to just go with the Teddy Buggy. But that's boring, and I don't want to do that. So we're about to shake things up and say goodbye to the stale meta. In this video, I'm going to give you a few alternative builds that you can use with any character that is just as viable as the Teddy Buggy. In order to do that, let's talk about the different weight classes in Mario Kart. Each character has a specific weight, but they can all be split into 6 categories: feather, light, light midweight, midweight, cruisers, and heavy. So let's start off with the featherweight. This category consists of every single baby character, Dry Bones, Lemmy, and the light me. The featherweight characters naturally have really high acceleration and mini turbo, so we're going to maximize that even further. Mini turbo is one of the most important stats in the game, so getting it as high as possible is very optimal in this situation. In order to do this, for our cart, we're going to go with the Bitty Buggy or Mr. Scooty. Both of these share the exact same stats, so pick whichever one you like the most. Though personally, I would recommend Mr. Scooty as it is a slimmer vehicle, so it can make avoiding obstacles a bit easier. As for your tires, you'll want to go with the roller or Azure rollers. These are the same, so pick whichever you like. And for the glider, you have 4 options that share the exact same stats: the Cloud Glider, Parachute, Flower Glider, or Paper Glider. Now if you look at the stats, you're almost maxed out on Mini Turbo, which is great. The speed is not the best, but if you drift a lot, it literally doesn't matter. Your acceleration is also really high, which means you'll be getting to max speed a lot quicker after getting hit. And in Mario Kart, you're always getting hit. This build also has great handling and traction, making it a very smooth build to race in. Now, let's talk about the light characters, which consist of Toad, Toadette, Wendy, Isabelle, Lakitu, Koopa, Bowser Jr., Larry, and Shy Guy. For these characters, the build that I highly suggest is the Streetle, with either the button or the leaf tires, and either of these gliders: Cloud Glider, Parachute, Flower, or Paper Glider. The light characters have a bit more speed and a bit less mini turbo, so we actually want to capitalize on that in this case, and go with a build that focuses a bit more on speed. Overall, this build still plays very similar to the featherweight build, with some very small changes here and there. It is a bit more forgiving, especially in tracks that don't have as many turns. The increased speed stat actually makes a pretty big difference, and while the mini turbo isn't as high, it's still very good and allows you to outdrift a lot of other setups. Now for the light midweight characters, which are currently the best in the game. This category consists of Yoshi, Peach, Daisy, Birdo, Peachette, Cat Peach, Diddy Kong, Female Villager, and Inkling Girl. For these characters, normally you would go with the Teddy Buggy, but what if I told you that the Varmint and the City Tripper actually had the exact same mini turbo and speed as the Teddy Buggy? Yeah, that's right. These two bikes are extremely similar to the best setup in the game. The only difference is that it has a bit less acceleration, which is honestly fine, as it makes up for it with higher handling and traction. So overall, this build is basically the Teddy Buggy but with smoother handling. If you pair these bikes with the roller tires and any of these gliders, Cloud, Flower, Paper, or Parachute, you have yourself a setup that will rival the best in the game. Now for the true midweight characters, which consist of Mario, Tanuki Mario, Luigi, Iggy, Ludwig, Inkling Boy, Male Villager, Kamek, and the midweight me. This build is almost identical to the previous build. This category has a higher overall speed stat in exchange for lower acceleration. So with these changes, the cart that I would recommend is the pipe frame. The pipe frame is very underrated and very solid. If you pair it up with the roller tires and either of these gliders, Cloud, Paper, Flower, or Parachute, this will result in a build with a bit higher speed but a bit less mini turbo, which still makes it a very balanced and very solid build. Now for the heavy characters, which are divided into 2 categories. First, we have the cruiserweight, which consists of Pauline, Rosalina, Link, King Boo, Roy, Waluigi, Wiggler, and Donkey Kong. For these characters, we're going back to the Teddy Buggy / Mr. Scooty. Pairing it up with the roller tires and either of these gliders, Cloud, Paper, Flower, or Parachute, will give you the absolute best kart setup that you can use for these characters. This build just works really well. Cruiser characters naturally have a very high speed stat, so pairing it up with a setup that'll maximize your acceleration and mini turbo is the way to go. This will give you a very balanced stat spread of speed, acceleration, and mini turbo, and that weight stat that will really help you not get bossed around. And last but not least, the Heavies, which consist of Bowser, Dry Bowser, Wario, Morton, Funky Kong, Metal Mario, Pink Gold Peach, Piranha Plant, and the Heavy Me. For these characters, I recommend a very underrated kart, the Landship. Pairing this kart with the roller tires and either of these gliders, Cloud, Paper, Flower, or Parachute, will give you a setup that matches the Teddy Buggy in stats, while also giving you higher traction to drift more smoothly, as well as making your overall setup a bit lighter. It's a very overlooked build, which is extremely solid overall. If this video was helpful, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.